Hi, good day everyone. I am Ordaniza from BECID English 3B, and for our final requirement in the subject LIT316 is we will be going to present a literary analysis of our chosen novel. And the novel that I choose is The Golden Notebook by Doris Lessing. The Golden Notebook is a story of a divorced single mother, Anna Wolfe, who works as a novelist in 1950s in London. Anna is worried that her bad experiences and relationships with wrong men are going to drive her crazy. This makes her record her life and experiences in 4 different notebooks. The black notebook deals with her life as a writer. The red records her political views. The yellow is about her emotional life, and the blue one deals with her everyday life. But most important notebooks is the 5th one, the Golden Notebook, where all her experiences connect and she starts to understand her own life and search for a personal and political identity ends. Doris Lessing's postmodern novel, The Golden Notebook in 1962, tells the story of Anna Wolfe as she explores 4 separate, fragmented stories of her life recorded in 4 separate notebooks, attempting to combine them together into one golden notebook. The book is famous for its portrayal of communism and anti-war messages, and also includes philosophies of the newly forming women's liberation movement. The book explores the inner workings of the mind, how lives are created, and how mental and societal breakdown are intertwined within the psyche. The Golden Notebook is structured in disparate sections and told non-chronologically. The sections overlap in part, interacting with each other but have different focuses. There is an overarching, more realistic narrative that tells the story of Anna, her friend Molly, Molly's ex-husband Richard, and Richard's new wife Marion. This section, entitled Free Woman, is based primarily on the experiences of Anna and Molly and their relationships with their children and lovers. Fragments from Anna's 4 notebooks intersperse. The Black Notebook relates her experience in South Rhodesia during the Second World War. The Yellow Notebook reflects on her experience in the Communist Party. The Red Notebook tells of a tragic love affair ended early, and the Blue Notebook, a personal diary, records her thoughts, feelings, and emotional life. Anna is a writer. The different notebooks have inspired different novels, but her ultimate goal is to combine all the notebooks into one more accurate and complete portrayal of her whole life, her memories, emotions, experiences, and philosophies. As the novel begins, Anna and Molly are sitting in a flat in London. Anna is a small, slender woman, and Molly is described as tall and boyish. The women are gossiping about Molly's ex-husband Richard and his new wife Marion, who seems to keep mistaking Anna for Molly. As they talk, Richard arrives to talk to Molly about their son Tommy. Tommy has been in a depression and refuses to leave his apartment to work, preferring to sit around all day and mop. Tommy grew up with only Molly, and so he resents Richard and doesn't want to work at his father's company. Tommy arrives halfway through the conversation, causing tension between everyone in the room. After the men leave, Molly becomes suspicious because both Tommy and Richard visited Anna while Molly was away on a trip. She pries and Anna reveals that Richard wanted to sleep with her, but Anna refused because she is bored with men like Richard. Then the women discuss the Communist Party and their political philosophies. In the Black Notebook, Anna writes about her experiences in Africa during World War II, which inspired her best-selling novel, Frontiers of War. In this notebook, she also records many experiences she has working with others for film rights for this notebook. The Red Notebook tells the story of her experiences in the British Communist Party, including friends she makes there and her own critiques of the group. In the Yellow Notebook, Anna takes on the pseudonym Ella to tell the story of a relationship with a psychoanalyst named Paul, which ended in tragedy. In the Blue Notebook, Anna writes about her relationship with her ex-husband Max, her daughter Janet, for whom she is thankful and whom she loves in her dreams. The novel ends at the beginning of the Golden Notebook, which reflects Anna's dream of living completely as herself without compartmentalizing. In this notebook, Anna begins a novel with a story of her and Molly in a London flat, creating a circular effect that brings the reader back to the beginning of the novel. In these final notes, Anna realizes she's going insane trying to tell the story of her own life and that her only solace is her daughter Janet. The book ends as she and Molly sit in Molly's flat. Molly has remarried and Anna continues to have unsatisfying and impermanent affairs. Both women reflect on how strange life has become. The Golden Notebook is a feminist novel that divides the arguments into two main sections, one called Family and Home, and the other Love and Relationship, in which arguments about these two subjects are used. As a result, explaining the characterizations of a feminist novel is also required in order to argue that this novel is also a feminist. Despite the fact that there are few references to critics who define a feminist work of art, there are many praised works that are considered feminist. The novel gained popularity among feminists due to its realistic depiction of women's independence and living conditions. It also artistically discusses the feminism challenges reflected in the Golden Notebook. The structure allows the theme to be expressed to its fullest potential. It reflects not only the fragmentation of the Golden Notebook's protagonist Anna, but also the chaotic society in which she lives. And for the evidence one, I wanted to capture the flavor of 1956 and later, and I think I did. The novel could not be written now, listen. So for the explanation, despite a few eccentricities and the fact that it is a somewhat difficult novel, I think the Golden Notebook ought to be read more widely. While it is very much of its time, its success in capturing that time means it offers a current reader a window to a past we should remember. The resonance of the issue it raises forces us to ask questions about our own time and its relation to the past and the future. It is a novel that has much to say which we would benefit from hearing. And for the evidence too, I had a woman friend at the time who was very bitter about men, in a way I don't think women are now. She was a single woman and she wanted a bloke and she wanted to be married, but she was always having affairs with married men. She was angry with them, yet she was living the kind of life that invited it. I was interested in that listening. For the explanation, women who enjoy a certain sense of liberty, especially compared to women of previous generations, yet are also somewhat trapped, purposeless, unfulfilled, and still do not enjoy the same freedoms as men, some of whom mistreat them. And for the evidence 3, being so young, 23 or 4, I suffered like so many emancipated girls from a terror of being trapped and tamed by domesticity. George house where he and his wife were trapped without hope of release, save through the deaths of 4 old people, represented to me the ultimate horror. It frightened me so that I even had nightmares about it. And yet, this man George, the trapped one, the man who had put that unfortunate woman, his wife, in a cage, also represented for me, and I knew it, a powerful sexuality from which I fled inwardly, but then inevitably turned towards. I knew by instinct that if I went to bed with George, I'd learn a sexuality that I hadn't come anywhere near yet. And with all these attitudes and emotions conflicting in me, I still like him. Indeed, I love him, quite simply as a human being. So for the explanation, in a particular, women who likely sing Anna, Molly, Ella, and Julia are single mothers preyed upon by married men who see them as fair game for affairs. Women who sometimes consent to be mistress to such men for varied reasons, from loneliness, boredom, love, and sexual frustration. And for the conclusion, the Golden Notebook vividly and truly describes women's life, mental state, and behavior. Feminists regard it as a biblical that everyone must read. Lessing was good at describing independent women with strong will, reflecting the emotional problems brought about by the patriarchal society and calling for more people to pay attention to the reality of women.